Hello everyone. In this session, I will explain the most valuable and the very important concept, transaction management. Okay. This is the topic what we are going to discuss in this particular session. Before going to start discussion about what is transaction management, first we'll see what is called a transaction. What is transaction? Set of SQL commands. Set of SQL commands execute as a single unit is called a transaction. Okay. What is transaction? Set of SQL commands executes as a unit. Set of SQL commands execute as a single unit is called transaction. Okay. Transaction will contain SQL commands. Transaction will contain SQL commands. DML commands will be there. Transaction will contain insert, update, delete. Okay. All these are what? DML commands. Data manipulation language commands. Insert, update, delete, select. These are DML commands. DML commands are used to modify or manipulate data of one or more tables. Okay. Next, the word transaction. Transaction word is used in banking applications. Okay, in banks, transactions are deposit, withdraw, okay, withdrawal. Is it clear? Right. Next, transaction will work with acid properties. Transaction will work with acid properties. Here A stands for Automacity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, and D stands for durability. Okay. A stands for Automacity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, and D stands for durability. We'll see one by one. What is the first property? Automacity, which means all the commands in the transaction will execute, or none of them will execute. Okay. So here Automacity means what here? all the commands in the transaction will execute, or none of them will execute, either all or none. Okay, I will give you an example so that you will get more clarity. So suppose there is a bank, okay, SBI. Consider that account A and account B are existing. Okay. Customer of account A wants to transfer 5,000 to account B. Okay, right. Here two commands will execute. Then two commands will execute. What is the first one? First command, deduct 5,000 from account A. Okay, two commands will execute. First one, deduct 5,000 from account A. First command, deduct 5,000 from account A. And the second command, add 5,000 to account B. These two commands are update commands only. These two commands are update commands. Okay. So same example, case 1, funds transfer. Okay. Right. What is the first operation here? Debit funds from sender's account. Yes. Debit funds from sender's account. Nothing but deduct 5,000 from account A. Next operation is what? Credit funds into receiver account. Okay. So these are the operations should be performed in this case. Okay. Funds transfer. Okay. Next here, Automacity. When transaction is in process, okay, when transaction is in process, say suppose when transaction fails, Automacity will check whether both the commands are executed or not. Okay, when transaction is in process, when transaction fails, Automacity will check whether both the commands are executed or not. Out of these two commands, if one command is executed, out of these two commands, if one command is executed and the other command is not executed, then Automacity will cancel. Automacity will cancel the execution of first command. Okay, Automacity will cancel the execution of that command. Okay, so clear? In the given example, if transaction is successful, when two commands will execute. Okay, if transaction is successful, two commands will execute. Otherwise, not even one single SQL command will execute. Okay, so if transaction is successful, two commands will execute, or not even one single SQL command will execute. So that is about Automacity. Okay, is it clear for all of you? Right. So that is about Automacity property. So in the here we'll see what is transaction management. Already I have written definition. Okay, definition of transaction management and definition of transaction. Okay, right. What is transaction management? It is the process of transaction management is the process of combining all related operations into a single unit and executing on the rule either all or none is called transaction management. Okay, so once again I am repeating, what is transaction management? Transaction management is the process of combining all related operations. So how many operations are there here? Two operations. These two operations are related operations only. Okay, so transaction management is the process of combining all related operations into a single unit and executing on the rule either all or none. Okay, so clear? It is the process of combining all the related operations into a single unit and executing on the rule either all or none. Okay, all the commands in the transaction will execute or none of them will execute. Okay, that is about transaction management. Next, what is transaction? Transaction is a single unit of work. Transaction is a single unit of work, and that will work on the rule either all or null. Okay, so that is about what is transaction management and what is transaction. Okay, so here all the operations should be executed or should be performed as a single unit. All the operations should be executed as a single unit. If debit from sender's account completed and credit into receiver's account fails, okay, there may be a chance of data inconsistency problem. Okay, so clear? All the operations should be performed as a single unit, should be executed as a single unit. If debit from sender account completed and credit into receiver's account not completed, then there may be a data inconsistency problem. Inconsistency means incorrect. Okay, so that is about transaction management and what is transaction, and we discussed about Automacity. Okay, so that's all now. Thank you for watching.